Oh, what's going on? What's going on? You know what time it is. You know what rhyme it is. I am your gracious host, A6. We are live and direct, live in effect on this Sunday night. Right now, the backdrop is a little different. I'm not in Baltimore right now, as many of you probably heard on my last few live streams. I am in the sunny Florida. You probably saw my Instagram post too. I'm in the sunny Florida, man. You know, getting my vacation on, my relaxation. I'm trying to enjoy myself. I don't know how the signal is. I'm literally using the hotspot via Wi-Fi on my phone, like the mobile hotspot joint to set it up. I don't trust public Wi-Fi. You should never hook any of your private devices up to public Wi-Fi. It's never a good idea. Somebody can hack into your shit. I got a lot of precious documents on this computer. I ain't got time for that. So that's how I'm moving. I don't trust no airport Wi-Fi, no hotel Wi-Fi, nothing public, only private. You know how we do. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Florida's dope, man. I mean, I'm out here in the old people section. I'm in the retirement section. When I like to go out and stuff like that to relax, I don't like to be around a bunch of riffraff. You know what I mean? Like Miami is cool, but it's a little too loud for me, a little too fast. So out here where I'm at, it's real chill, man. It's dope. It's out in the sticks pretty much, but it's near the beach, so it's all fire. Who we got in the chat? Who we got in the chat? What's up, Jimmy? What's going on, champ? Hopefully you can drop some bars on us today again. Shacha. I'm sorry. I know I messed your name up, man. Shacha. I think it's Shasha Esrael. What's up, man? Shalom, son. What's going on with you? All praises due to the Most High. What up, Civic Maker? How you feeling, champ? Waris Janadu. Good vibes. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Streets of Rage 2 Music World Throwback. Yes, that is the remake, man. If y'all not familiar, get familiar. If you're familiar with the old school beat 'em up joints, the remake is actually like a revamp of all the old ones. They rolled them all up together for one, so it's pretty good. Check it out. What up, Thirst for Truth? Good to see you here, man. I heard Florida is kind of wild. Florida's, like I said, bro. The place I went to, I ain't with all that nonsense. We went to Miami today. I was in Miami Beach today. I went to Wet Willie's and got myself one of them call a cab joints. I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like the last time I've been to Miami was like 2012. It was a Grizzle Mania grind time event. That's where the grind time comes from. I used to battle rap back in the day. A few of y'all probably saw my battle rap videos online, but yeah, I was in grind time, DMV, and there was an event down in Miami, Florida, back in 2012 called Grizzle Mania. It was like the WrestleMania type main event for all the battle rap, events and stuff like that. So I was there down there, and that's the last time I was in Florida. Actually, not. I'm lying. That's the last time I was in Miami, and I had a good time, man. I'm drinking this crappy ass water because I ain't got my spring water, so I'm a little irritated about that, but making it do what it do. You know, when you drink that damn alcohol, you gotta stay hydrated. But I'm gonna tell you though, Wet Willie's is chill, man. It's a real old school type vibe with the spot. You know, it's not bad. Wasn't particularly packed. Wasn't too hot outside. It felt like it was about like 89, 90 degrees. It was chill, man. You know, beach was jumping off. A lot of nice ladies out there. A lot of eye candy to look at if you're down here for that type of thing. But yeah, it was pretty solid, man. So highly recommended, a good place to come down there and just get your relaxation on. Me personally, when I go to chill on the beach, I like to be dolo. The beach I'm on, there ain't really nobody, that many people outside. I literally just meditated, got a chance to just sit down and unwind. I got about a 20-minute meditation and I tried to do some sun gazing, but I got out too late for that. The sun was too strong. I tried to sun gaze. I almost tore my eyes off. almost fried my eyes looking at the sun. But yeah, if you're gonna do that, you really got to come out here early, like around this time of the year. You probably need to be out. I would say about 7:30 or 8 o'clock or maybe seven even. That way you can stare directly at the sun because when the sun get going and them rays start to hit, you ain't doing no sun gazing unless you really been doing it for years every day and you professionally real good at it. I remember one time I was able to look at to do sun gaze, and I actually looked at the sun for about 30 minutes straight. But it was only about like I think it was 10:30. But this was in Maryland, and I think this was in the fall. So I don't know. The sun I think changes around that time too. So I was able to do some heavy sun gazing around then. But the max time I ever had to look at the sun was 30 minutes. And if you notice, like when you really start looking at the sun, it'll turn blue. Like, yo, you look at it long enough, and like the light starts to. It's weird. You when you stare at it, the light literally goes away, and you just see the sun. It's a blue ball. It's crazy. So I was able to do that, but I haven't done it in such a long time. I was outside trying to do it, and it was like, nah, bro, start slow. You can't just do it after you ain't did it for a while. You got to get practice with it. But yeah, eyes open, Albert. I saw what you asked me. Yeah, eyes open. You can actually, yes, you can stare directly at the sun. It is partial truth that you're not supposed to stare directly at the sun. And again, they always give you partial truths when you're growing up. They don't flat out lie to you in a lot of these scenarios. They sometimes they do, but most of the time they give you partial truth. Yes, you cannot stare at the sun. You don't want to go stare at the sun at 12:30 if you've never done it before, because you will destroy your goddamn eyes. But if you start at like 7 a.m., 6:30, when the sun's still red and coming up, you can stare directly at it. And it's actually, when you look away, you'll see a little bit of a glare. It'll go away though. But when you start to do it eventually and get used to it, it'll start to build up your connection with the earth. So one thing I did notice when I started last year, I did an experiment where I was doing sun gazing every day early, and I would or afternoon works too. If you come home and you do it when the sun's setting too, it also works. But only if you've been doing it like a long time can you do it around 12. You better have your eyes ready because them beams are unforgiving. So what was I saying? Yeah, I did something where I was basically growing my own stuff, and I was eating it out of the earth, and I was drinking the spring water from out of the earth, and I was sun gazing. And what I noticed was when I went to lay down and go to sleep and close my eyes, like I would see colors basically moving around. They said when you're doing that, you're entering a state of meditation, and you're able to manifest things that you actually desire when you do so. So that's another point of the meditation. So when you really connect with the earth like that, you actually are able to do things of that nature. So that's why I urge everybody, man, get back to the earth, man. That's what it is. Get out there to the beach, you know what I mean? Put your feet in the sand, sit on the sand, let the sand get all over you, dirty you all up, just get in the water, man, and just feel it and relax. And then I told people last time too, when you ground and put your feet on the earth, it'll take a lot of that negative charge and energy out of you too. So that's why when people go on vacations, they like the beach because they want to lay on the beach. They don't even know when you lay on any like earth surface, it pulls the negativity or the negative charge of energy through your feet. The earth absorbs it, so it recenters you. It's great for you, man. You can even do grounding on regular grass in your backyard. You literally can do grounding right in the soil. You know what I mean? It's dirt, whatever, as long as it's the earth. And the earth can hear you, man. It can hear you. Earth is a living being. That's why it's got grass and trees and all that stuff. That stuff's alive. Thank you, thank you, thank you, man. I definitely needed it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How the women are beautiful, man. It's something out here for everybody, yo. Whatever you want. You want a Spanish chick? There's a lot of them out here. You want a blonde bombshell? Plenty of those. You want a beautiful black chick? Plenty of those. It's everything, dude. No matter what you're looking for, man, they out there. Yes, indeed. So if you want to, I will say this though, you might get overwhelmed if you literally trying to find the baddest one. You're gonna get overwhelmed. So your best bet would be to just pace yourself. You just might get overwhelmed. My dog runs back inside in the house when the sun is out. He knows the truth about them rays. Yeah, that's why I said if you really, all right. So like when you first start off, like I said, man, start off early when the sun's just going up, or start off when it's setting. Don't try to start off around lunch. You would destroy your vision. And the doctor will say, why the fuck were you looking at the sun? What the hell is wrong with you? So that's the thing. And then I basically when I go out, because I'm lighter skinned, I gotta get the base tan first. So I'll go out there and stay on the beach for probably about 30 minutes or something like that. And then I go back in. And then when I go back out after that, I already got the base tan, so I can stay out as long as I want. So it's a method to being outside in the sun. You can't just disrespect the sun by not going out much and just staying out in the sun for like 3-4 hours. That's how you get just your skin destroyed, because you didn't respect the power of the sun. When you go out, you gotta get the base tan first. You also got to get rid of a lot of them seed oils you eat and shit too. I mean, I've been doing research on seed oils, and a lot of the things you eat, the biscuits, crackers, cookies, and all that stuff is made with all kinds of seed oils. And that shit is pretty much bad for your skin. It's bad for you overall. But yeah. So get the base tan first. You know what I mean? For my lighter skin people, people who are darker, you can pretty much just stay out as long as you want because you got melanin to absorb the rays and absorb the vitamins from the rays. But us lighter skinned people, we gotta do it right. See what I'm saying? But it can be done because we got melanin in us. Eyes open, man. It's the only way to do it. Well, I'm not gonna say the only way because I did it both ways. I did do open at first, and I was like, yo, this is too strong. I'm gonna go ahead and just meditate and just turn my head towards the sun and close my eyes. I did do that. You are right. So I was able to do that. Yo, what up, Taquan? What's going on with you, champ? My man been on the ball, bruh. I see you moving around out there, man. Making moves. Respect, respect. By the way, while I'm in here in Florida now, Taquan, you need to hit me up, yo. So if you around here. But one of my plans before I leave is to get that passport ran by one of them officers. You know what I mean? What up, Tony? What's going on, champ? I see you sent me some stuff early. I hadn't got a chance to look at it. I know you sent me some other stuff. I looked at it, but I got to check out what you sent me. I'm gonna go back through it. I noticed why that movie Riddick wore those goggles aside from his eyes called Shine. Yeah, I've seen that movie once where he had purple eyes or something like that. And it's supposed to have meant something. But I don't remember exactly what that movie was about because I haven't seen it since like it first came out. I think I was in a movie when it came out. I have actual arguments over the color of the sun being white and not yellow is what was drilled in us as kids. Yeah, dude, I think it's blue, man. Like when you really start to stare at it, I'm telling you, yo, all right, so you'll look at it, right? And it'll be bright. It'll be bright. But if you bear with it and just chill, like it'll start the light will start to go away. It's weird. And when the light goes away, you'll see a blue tint, like a blue ball. Like it's just a blue ball. And then when you look at it long enough, you're like, yo, it's not even bright anymore. No, it's not that it's not bright. Your eyes are just adjusting to it. So yeah. Laughing. I still prefer international chicks. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that either, man. Ain't no look, man. I ain't the dick police. All right, you do whatever you want to do with your stuff. I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, yo, that shit be killing me. When niggas like, you got to do this. You got. Like, look, nobody owes anybody anything, yo. You get out there and get whoever the fuck treats you right. I ain't the dick police. You know what I mean? I never was that guy. Yeah, I'm on vacation, Albert. Yes, sir. I heard about the sun gazing can help you with your eyesight. It does. I actually have 20/20 vision. I have like almost perfect vision. Like I can see things I probably shouldn't be able to see from a distance, except for when like the words are really tiny on the damn screen. That's a pain in the ass. But like as far as up close and far, I got pretty solid vision. Hello, A6 greetings from Fort Lauderdale. Yes, indeed. I'm in the Florida Republic right now, Angela. Yes, indeed. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, sir. You're only supposed to sun gaze at sunrise or sunset. Yeah, you're not supposed to be doing that shit at around 12. You gonna fuck around turning the Cyclops from X-Men. You gotta wear them stupid ass glasses all the time. Yeah, man, you're not supposed to do that. His eyes was from prison where it was mostly dark, but he could see the dark with his eyes, and his eyes were silver, and he could see the sun between the purple tint and blue coloring, and you can't. Word, that's crazy. And blue in color, and you can. Yeah, I thought his eyes were purple. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember it properly. Literally can see the sun spin. That's some fire. You write 6 just light when you light a lighter, the flames start off blue. Yeah, that's true. That's true. They say white is the hottest. That's what I heard, though. I always heard it was blue. International chicks treat you better. They not all for that fallen society over there. Here's the thing, yo. American women have it pretty. I think it's an unfair assumption because the thing about American women are, yo, like the problem with American women is that the media and the social media has pretty much destroyed them since they were young. Like the older ones, they don't really have an excuse because they remember how shit was before social media took over. So I'm gonna say, as far as that goes, the ones who grew up with phones since they was in fourth grade, because we're entering the generation now where there's 20-year-olds that have phones since they was like in fourth grade, yo. That's crazy to me. Like they literally are. I've actually saw a chick literally say she refuses she will die if she loses her phone or something like that. She needs to be able to get on Instagram and like get likes and stuff. I was like, yo, that's crazy. But the thing about it is, women from other countries, it's a different standard of living. Like if you go to a place like the Asian islands and stuff like that, they're not considered quote unquote first world countries. So having a phone is like secondary. A lot of them have phones, but it's not really one of them things that's like, yo, if you don't got a phone, you can't move around out here. Nah, it's not like it is here. So they have a little bit of a different custom. Um, Women here, man, America's all about freedom of expression and shit like that. And they got their phones and they take pictures of themselves, take pictures of their food. I rarely do that. I did that just to show you guys about the egg rolls earlier. They're pretty good, by the way. But it's more of a thing of freedom of expression, which they got their First Amendment right to do so. But I mean, it's just the problem with it is like, yo, it comes at a cost because now you're a fucking narcissist. So what can I say, man? It ain't perfect, but it's working, I guess. Barely. $1.3 billion, yes, indeed. What we talking about? Oh man, I'm ready to get into it, Joseph. I'm not gonna be on here for the regular time that I usually am because I'm still moving around out here. So I'm checking in with you guys. Rick, I was able to pick up ultraviolet rays. Yo, yeah. That's the shit. Wow, that's a psychological issue. Yep. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, A6. Love to laugh together at lunch. I mean, hit my inbox. I mean, shit, hit my inbox. Anybody in the Florida area, y'all can hit me up. I'm with it. What up, Prof? My man Prof in the house. What's good, champ? Yes, sir. All right, so let's get down to, I got a few articles I want to show you guys real quick. I stumbled across. What on? All right. We'll get to that in a minute. Check this out right here. I don't know if this has music on there. Yo, this is called Celebrity Meat. Now, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but dude, when I saw this is right before I got on the plane. I was like, yo, I'm going to bookmark this because I got to see this. But this is called Eat Celebrity Meat. This is what it's literally called. Let's see what they're talking about because I haven't even watched it yet.
Good morning to all my people. Man, I had to talk about this.
Signal's a little weird. Hold on a sec. I'm trying to let it load.
Website. So these people here are selling celebrity meat, and it's exactly just like it fucking sounds. On the website, it says it all starts with your favorite celebrity and a quick biopsy to obtain tissue samples. It also says they're isolating muscle stem cells. We grow celebrity meat in our proprietary bioreactors. These crackers is eating celebrity meat. Bite Labs. You can look this up. Bite Labs or this is real life shit. These motherfuckers is eating people, eating celebrities, and trying to make that shit look green.
All right. So apparently it's called Bite Labs, and they're cloning celebrity stem cells for meat. And this is supposedly, according to them, this is what's hot in the streets right now. Yo, this you can't make this up, bro. Like, yo, this gets weirder every day. Like, they're literally in a position right now where they're trying to literally make like copies of meat of celebrities. What the hell is that all about? I mean, over in Cali though, they got a whole restaurant where you can actually eat human meat. That's a lot of people don't know that exists, yo. There's a restaurant in Cali where you can actually go over there and consume human meat, human flesh. Facts. Look it up. We covered this before last year. Look it up. This exists. This is another reason I do not want it. My man was telling me yesterday, you got to come visit me in Cali. I said, Don't know if I can do it, Chan. I don't know if I can do Cali, yo. I don't know. You shout out to Super Slide 75, yo. I don't think I can do it, yo. Cali's a little far out for me, man. They on some shit. But I mean, what can I say? It's been like that, and it's you got the whole Bohemian Grove thing that's out in Cali. You know what I mean? That energy is out there. You got the Hollywood thing. You got the celebrity, not the celebrity, but you got the governor Gavin Newsom. Got a whole lot of weirdness over in that particular state. I don't think I'll be going over there, man, because I would need to bring hella crystals and protective materials. Say a prayer to the Most High to protect. You know what I mean? All that stuff, because that is a lot of weirdness. I'm really not interested in confronting at this particular time. All right, let's move on, man. Don't eat the meat. Don't eat the meat. All right, so a lot of people are heated about this right here. Now, we already knew from a rip, hip hop is basically a former shell of itself. It ain't really what it was when we were coming up in the '90s. You remember joints like the Wu-Tang with SWV. That joint, they had anything. That is one of my favorite crossover R&B songs. That and the Mariah Carey ODB joint. That joint was crazy, yo. The Old Dirty Bastard was on there. Remember that? Yeah. So, hip hop was in a place in the '90s where it was like, yo, it's blending very well with R&B. I actually listened to R&B. There was like, yo, R&B is still being done, but it's just not being done by quote unquote black people anymore. You got a lot of other races that are getting involved with it. And I was like, well, that's a good point, because if you look at what was her name? What is her name? Brain dead. Man, I can't remember what her name was. It's I think she's a European chick, but she does R&B. She makes really, really good music though. But they made a point that was like, yo, hip hop basically killed off R&B, and now hip hop is dying off. And some people blame stuff like this right here. If you haven't heard about this, this is FN Mecca. And FN Mecca is a digital rapper. It is a rapper that's not literally existent. It's a CGI that's created in cyberspace, and it supposedly signed a record deal with Capitol Records. Now, it was dropped from Capitol Records because he kept saying the word nigga over and over and over and over again, so they dropped him. But what's interesting from what I learned is there's actually a human that does his voice. The voice is not a computer or a robot or anything like that. It's a human that does the music for him, but the persona itself, from what I gather, is just a CGI. So this is FN Mecca.
First time ever a robot rapper has recorded a deal. FN Mecca just signed with Capitol Records. His debut single, Florida Water, was released last week. The robot rapper has over 10 million followers on TikTok, and it's the platform's top virtual being. FN Mecca, voiced by a human, but everything else about his music is based in AI.
No, they really got artificial intelligence rappers getting signed out here. Shit is absolutely crazy, man. Have you guys heard about this AI rapper, FN Mecca, that recently got signed to a major label? If you haven't, let me tell you about it. We'll start about it. Now, FN Mecca, are you guys familiar with the name? If you're not, don't feel bad, because this is not even a real human being. FN Mecca is an artificial intelligence rapper, so he's a robot who only exists in the virtual world. This robot actually recently got signed to a major label, and that news has been making some headlines. First of all, even though FN Mecca is trending just now, this AI rapper has actually been a thing for a while. I'm talking as early as April 2019. That's when this AI rapper was initially revealed to the world. Ever since April 2019, they, in this case, whoever is controlling FN Mecca's social media accounts, they've been building a whole social media identity around FN Mecca. We're talking fit pics on IG, as you can see if you're looking at the screen. We're talking pics of FN Mecca posted up with guns, cars, and a whole host of things. On top of that, this AI rapper has over 10 million followers on TikTok. Yes, you heard that right. I want to go over this article by Music Business Worldwide, who wrote a pretty informative piece on FN Mecca, so let's check that out. Capitol Records just signed a virtual artist, FN Mecca, Mecca. He has over 10 million followers on TikTok. In April last year, we told you about a robot rapper called FN Mecca. The virtual artist creator told us at the time that FN Mecca has been created using thousands of data points compiled from video games and social media. Just over a year later, and FN Mecca has over 10 million followers on TikTok. Not only that, he's just been signed by one of the most powerful record companies in the world, Capitol Records. Capitol claims that FN Mecca, who has over 8 billion views on TikTok, is the #1 virtual being on the video platform, as well as the world's first augmented reality artist to sign with a major label. His debut major label single, Florida Water, a collaboration with Billboard chart topper Gunna, is out today.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off right there because they was trying to show a commercial. All right, so the hip hop game is steadily was on a decline with all the crappy music that they were putting out, all the mumble rappers. You know, you literally went from dudes that was telling you how to, you know, take care of your family and stuff like that in the early '90s, the golden era, to this crap. You literally got a damn CGI who's replacing actual people trying to get on. You know what I mean? Who actually have shit good to say. Taking a spot that another rapper could have took and getting signed. This plays right into the whole what is that? What is that? Meta? Meta? Is that what it's called? The Facebook joint? I think it's called Meta. The metaverse. That plays in the whole thing. Like, yo, the metaverse, all that shit would tie in because you got a rapper who's basically a digital CGI, and the metaverse is supposed to be a whole nother world. So this is the stuff we're talking about. You know what I mean? This is what's coming in the future. And this is what they're pushing towards. Everything they do is pushing towards all digital. Peace to the gods, peace to the gods. Yeah, man, the Ascend Messiah talks about the sun gazing in a book called The Ascend Gospel of Peace. Word. Yeah, it's a lot of good books on that stuff, man. I haven't read any books on it. I've read certain excerpts from books, but I haven't actually sat down and read the whole book yet. Tell you we're going to be cyborgs or your kids will. I'd hope not, Albert. I'm telling you. I hope not. I'm not. I'm good, but you know, I would hope not. And I hope they would be smarter than that. That's another reason I tell y'all need to be taking notes right now while y'all are alive. Because if you think about our ancestors, and we can't talk to them because a lot of them died before we were born. This is why you need to create some kind of journal that you can actually pass on to your ancestors, you know, your family heirloom. You put it in a trust and pass it down. That way, all of your ancestors can actually read the joint and know what time you were on. Let them know what the government was doing. Let them know what society was doing. Let them know what your mindset was. Let them know what you learned. All the secrets we're learning that's been hidden from us need to be passed on, because if not, when we go, they're gone. They got to rediscover them again if they even wake up. You know what I mean? But if you put them down from what it is from the start, they got a better head start when we do. But this is why I say you need to create one now. Y'all need to get a composition. Go old school. Don't put nothing digital, yo. Go old school. Get a composition book and write some shit. Put some dates down. You know, you can even backdate your joint. If you want to do it now, you want to backdate from when you were in elementary school and just talk about that. The shit should literally be about five books long. It should be an heirloom. And when you pass it down, you can have, you know, other descendants add to it. You see what I'm saying? You got to start somewhere. Put records in it. Put records like death certificates, birth certificates. Put your national passport in there. You know, all that stuff. You know what I mean? All that should need to be documented, man, because at the end of the day, we weren't put here to stay forever. You know what I mean? So our legacy can remain, but you just got to make sure that it does so. That's what I say. But don't do no USB drive or any SD card. That shit is, if a fire happens, fire happens with the other stuff, it can happen. That shit can go too, but you need to make sure you protect it. But if it gets lost or something like that, or if it gets smashed or something, or SD card gets misplaced, or if it's short circuits or something like that, if they just change formats to where nobody has a USB joint no more, everything is wireless. You know what I mean? You lost at that point. But if you create actual manuscript written down, like a lot of people were having problems with the authenticating their birth certificates in New York. And the main thing is, we ain't supposed to be using the government documents for a birth certificate. We supposed to be using the Bible. That's why the Bible got them. You ever thumb through a Bible when you were younger and wonder why them pages is blank? The pages is blank because you're supposed to be recording your birthday and your marriage. It's supposed to be private. That shit ain't supposed to be through the government. That's what we fucked up at. You know what I mean? But again, they taking advantage of your ignorance. So this is why I say when you pass something down like that, it's known from the point that you continue. The work continues. It's not started over. You know what I mean? And then sometimes they might not find all this stuff. Some of the stuff that you found might be moved or hidden because they don't want people to see it. Look at the internet and see how much stuff's been scrubbed off the internet. Like, dude, I'm literally finding out so much stuff that was removed from the internet that's been helping me recently. It's ridiculous. Stuff I can't talk about here publicly for the private, but I'm learning there was so much pulled from the internet that can simple remedies for problems we're having that we didn't know about because the internet didn't have them anymore. You got to get to that law library. You got to get your hands on the books. You got to go talk to the elders, talk to people who've been getting busy for a while, and do it that way. Soylent Green. Yeah, I've heard about. So is that Soylent Green? I thought it was something Bite, whatever it was. Lab Bites, I think, or Bite Labs. Yes, it is wicked. 100% wicked. I thought McDevils put human meat in their burgers. It's a way for the pedos to get rid of that video. I heard about that too. Yeah, I heard about that's the Q joint, right? I did hear that. Not to be crass. Sorry. You're good, Albert. Thank you. The metaverse. Yes, sir. What up, Keith? I saw your emails. I got to read those. You sent me 2 of them. I haven't got through them yet. Pac told us the rappers of his the future are rapping about cars, bees, and BS, and not the real stuff he was kicking. That hip hop is lost, being a prophet again. Yep, 100%. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, man. The way you move around while you on this earth, we got plenty of time too. Like you literally can take. Probably it don't take much time. You can literally take, and this is another thing too. People be saying, I ain't got time. Yo, you literally could take 10 minutes a day to jot some stuff down. You ain't got to do 10 pages a day, just 10 minutes a day. Take 10 minutes to jot some stuff down, some precious memories, some stuff you learned, valuable lessons. You know what I mean? How you get your national passport. All that stuff is stuff that can be passed down. You know what I'm saying? This is stuff that can be passed down from generation to generation. And tell them what it does and all that stuff. You know what I mean? How to create a trust. These are all things that need to be passed on to our ancestors while we still here. You just never know how long you're going to be here, man. That's why we need to get on that today. Feel me? That's what it is. That's what it is, man. We got to take responsibility. We blaming the government for everything, but the government's left the information there. It's not their job to teach you that shit. Teaching you is not going to help their, or not even the government, the people in the government. Teaching you is not going to help their agenda. Their agenda is to keep you ignorant. If you ignorant, you know what I mean? It's easier for them to control you. They got to leave the stuff there for you to discover. Otherwise, that's just slavery. If they destroy all the books completely, and don't leave them accessible, that's slavery. And then they're avoiding karma. They're avoiding universal karma by doing that. Because if you do that, karma's going to fuck them up. That's why they were able to stay in charge so long. A lot of people are like, yo, well, if there's karma, why they get away with doing this, that, and the third? It's because it didn't happen exactly the way they told you it did. That's why. That's why karma didn't bite them in the ass. They left a way out. You just didn't know the way out. They got to leave a way out in order to avoid that universal karma. If you're ignorant and you don't know the way out, that's not their fault. They left you the way to get out. You just got to go find it. But nah, motherfuckers want to be watching twerk videos and shit like that. Motherfuckers want to be, smoking big pounds of weed and stuff. That's all they want. Gotta free ourselves, man, the knowledge, All right, let me share this other video here. All right, so this is back to California, man. The heat is back on Cali again. All right, check. Dude, I swear I'm not doing this on purpose. I just look at what's on the news and it just happens to always be Cali. All right, so California wants to end the sales of new gas cars by 2035. All right, so they're saying here are the 4 key roadblocks. So if most of you guys heard, they're planning on completely discontinuing any gasoline vehicles in their state. Now, for those of you who are mechanics or mechanically inclined, you'll know that California has always been on some weird shit when it comes to emissions. If you have a car that has California emissions, you have a car that has higher automotive parts that are harder to get. They have special specifications for the hydrocarbons that are put into the atmosphere through the exhaust system. It's a lot of red tape that you have to deal with having a California emissions car. That's why when you go get stuff like a catalytic converter, um, downpipes, catalytic converters, EGR valves, I think too. These parts, they need to know if these are Cali emissions, engines, transmissions. They need to know if they're California emissions because they have different setups. California has always been anti-smog. If you remember the whole Volkswagen revolt where all the hippies in Cali and all them other liberal areas, the hippies wanted Volkswagens because they said Volkswagens were better for the environment. So they all wanted to basically buy these Volkswagen cars. You remember the hippies that had the Ninja Turtle vans that would ride around and all that. Yeah, so, it's always been a haven for that. So it's no surprise why they would be launching a full-out assault on gasoline vehicles or cars or whatever you want to call them. All right, check it out. California wants to drive a stake into the heart of gas-powered cars. State regulators approved a policy Thursday that will ban the sale of new gas cars by 2035 in what's the country's largest auto market. Pay attention to that. It's part of an ambitious plan to fight climate change by accelerating the transition to an electric future, and its decision to a handful of states are expected to follow. Despite the strong demand for electric cars, sales made up only 3% total car sales last year. So they only sold 3% of electric cars. The shit ain't kicking off like they wanted to. They were expecting more people to be able to grab electric cars. But the issue they're running into is the damn things are expensive as hell, and the market is so messed up. They're trying to figure out how to get them cheaper. So they're in a corner right now. That's why they're doing this. The race is now for automakers to increase the production of electric vehicles, but that alone won't be enough. Analysts say the industry faces several challenges in ending sales of gas-powered cars by 2035. Electric vehicles are still really expensive, like I just said. The average price of an electric vehicle is currently $66,000. Now, keep in mind, cars are way more expensive now than they used to be back in the day. You had back in 2004, you can get a Mitsubishi Lancer Evolution. That's the all-wheel drive turbo four-door. The little race car that they had. I actually used to have one. The race car joint. You could get one of those for like $35,000. In this market right now, that same car will cost you about $45,000. So it's $10,000 over what they used to be. Upwards of 45 to 50 now because the market's so messed up. But yeah, so it's a scenario where the cars are way more expensive, right? So $66,000 that's high as hell. So that's gonna be a roadblock. They gotta figure out, and I told you guys, when you start seeing cheaper cars that were notoriously cheaper, like Hyundais and Kias coming out with electric cars, that's it. Because those were supposed to be the cheapest cars. If you didn't have money to buy a Honda or a Nissan back in the day, you would go get a Hyundai or a Kia. You know what I'm saying? And the quality of these cars was very poor back in the day. But Korea's stepped their game up, and their cars are a lot nicer now. They're also more expensive. But in any case, yeah, they're still too high. I would say the average median for a car is probably right now in this economy, probably about 15,000 to 20 is what the average consumer is looking to spend for a new car, if even spending one for a new car at all. Because at the end of the day, motherfuckers don't want no goddamn payments. Payments. You got to pay for the car every month. You got to pay for gasoline anytime it runs out of gas. And not even counting electric cars, just gasoline cars. You got to pay for when it breaks down. Don't keep in mind you're still making payments on it. You got to pay insurance. You know what I'm saying? If you got an extended warranty, you got to pay on that. It's always something. So a lot of times people are trying to get used cars. The problem with used electric cars that they're running into is those batteries are too goddamn expensive. The batteries are high as hell. Like, a battery for I think it was a 2006 Toyota Prius. That battery was $5,000 by itself. The battery was $5,000. I'm like, that's crazy, man. 5 bands for the battery, not even counting the service. The service mechanic or the shop is probably going to want $2,500 to $2,000 in order just to put the battery in, because you can fucking die replacing one of them batteries. You touch that orange wire, you're going to be at the crossroads with Bone Thugs. Gonna be, tell me what you gonna do when it ain't nowhere to run. Tell me what you gonna do when it ain't nowhere to hide. You gonna be done, yo. They gonna be at your wake. You cannot touch the orange cable. In that case, a mechanic is putting his life on the line. Therefore, it's gonna cost you more money to fix these cars. So that's a big roadblock right there, also. So the price is just astronomical at this point. All right, where we at? The automakers have to introduce the more expensive, more costly, higher margin vehicles first to make the money to start to finance some of the lower cost vehicles. And that's what they say till the production starts. Car companies like Chevrolet and General Motors are aiming to release more affordable options in the coming years. A key provision of President Biden's Inflation Reduction Act also provides a revamped $7,500 tax credit when buying a new electric car, although it is a number of caveats. So there you have it. They're trying to get people to buy them joints, but the motherfuckers ain't biting. It's not practical right now. It's not practical. But to make cars more affordable, electric cars will need to make batteries more cost effective. What did I just tell you? What did I just tell you? The batteries are simply more expensive than the internal combustion engine. Even for a 2004 Toyota Camry, all right, 4-cylinder, that is the most durable engine on the market right now besides the Toyota Supra engine. Those two engines are the most bulletproof engines on the market right now, all right? And they're both made by Toyota. Even for that engine, which rarely goes up, and when they do get on the used market, you're going to have to spend about $4,000 for the engine because the engine is so rare and it's such a bulletproof engine. Everybody wants the engines. So if you buy, let's say you buy a Camry with no engine in it, you know what I mean? You get it for $500 and you buy an engine for $4,000. You can turn around and sell that Camry like for $6,500 because those cars have such a high value in the market because they're notorious for being almost damn near bulletproof, and they don't have many problems. Those are great cars. So that particular battery itself is 4 bands. You might be able to get one for $3,500 in the better market or $3,000 if you're lucky. You better know somebody at the junkyard. Don't try to buy a new. Forget about it. Don't try to buy a new. Yeah, you're going to spend about 10 grand for that damn engine. But in terms of the battery's $5,000 by itself. You see what I'm saying? And then you got to spend another $2,500, $2,000 for labor. So that's 7 bands. You had 7 bands. So you get a used electric car. The battery goes up in a year. You making payments on it, and you got to shell out $7,000 to get it back on the road. You upside down at that point. It's a waste of money. That's a huge problem they got to fix. They got to adjust to that. All right, so where we at? Most manufacturers are saying by 2025, batteries will be on par with the cost of an internal combustion engine. And when that happens, they definitely will help to bring the price down. They're going to need to look. I'm going to tell you something. If you get an engine for like a 2006 Chevy Malibu, you're going to spend about like $650 to $700 for the engine, which is a very affordable price for an engine. And this is used we're talking. We're not talking new. And a lot of these batteries you buy, you don't want to buy new. You want to buy them refurbished. You know, you don't really want to buy a used battery. You might be taking a gamble. However, making batteries cheaper presents another challenge. China dominates the critical minerals market. China dominates the critical minerals market. China currently dominates the rare earth mineral market, and the auto industry has long relied on the country's source to EV batteries. The Biden administration is pushing automakers to reduce their dependence on China, but that's easier said than done. Something in the order of about 90% of the lithium that's being used in the batteries is processed in China. Now, we saw what just happened with the C19 that shut down a lot of production in China. The market is completely in shambles right now because the trade line to China was abruptly stopped. So they're finding other sources to buy stuff. This is the whole reason they were out of a lot of food and stuff. They were getting a lot of this shit from China. They were out of a lot of items. Auto parts were out of stock. You know what I mean? You might have a parts for your house or something like that you need to get. They might have had to order. You know what I mean? A lot of America was using so much Chinese labor. You know what I mean? They became dependent. As a result, when this whole C19 thing happened and the plant shut down, you know, there was a trade line disconnect. There was pretty much issues with that. So now you have a problem where getting the batteries is going to be a problem. Now check this out. The Biden administration is pushing automakers to reduce their dependence on China, but that's easier said than done. That's what Trump was doing. Trump was trying to open up alternate trade lines and alternate deals that the United States had with China to try to do a better deal, pretty much, because the deal that was basically happening all benefited China, but in return, those corporations got that cheap Chinese labor. What we talk about all the time. The United States corporation, it really functions off basically slavery, and paying people 1 cent every week is like goddamn slavery, really. Because what the fuck are they going to do with that shit? Communist countries, you take whatever they give you, and you do what they tell you. Something in the order of about 90% of the lithium is used in batteries processed in China, okay? And finding new sources or partners won't be easy. Obtaining minerals from places which we have trade agreements is going to be the biggest challenge because there's huge competition for that, says Michael Krebs, executive analyst with Cox Automotive. Everybody's scrambling to cut deals for the minerals. But even if the companies are able to ramp up production, they could run into another problem. The EV infrastructure is still pretty limited. How many times have you been riding down a road or to the gas station even, and you've seen chargers for these electric cars? How many times I can count on my hand. I probably have seen probably about 7 in my whole entire experience with electric cars. I've probably seen about 7 stations. There's one at a college not too far from where I'm at. There's one at I think there's one at the gas station, and there was some scattered assorted ones. Like, what the fuck is this doing here? But yeah, they're out there. They're hard to find. So yeah, that's another problem you're gonna run into. Exactly. Not only are there too few charger stations across the country, many existing stations don't always work. A recent survey by JD Power found that the limited availability and reliability of charging stations is a key factor for people holding back from buying electric vehicles. The federal government is spending $7.5 billion to expand the country's charging infrastructure. You know what that means? They're going to start putting them at gas stations. That's what that means. And we talked about this too. You're going to start seeing them in the corner of the gas station, or maybe one pump might get replaced by one. And slowly, it's what happened with the self-serve checkout lines that you guys are dealing with, right? They started off with just 3 of them. Like, all right, you can do self-serve, but there's still more places to go in and pay a cashier or a clerk. Then it was 4 of them. All right, one less goddamn employee. Then there was 5. Next thing you know, there's a whole section, basically self-checkout only. And then you got nobody working at the cash register at all in the front. That happened to me recently. I was just not too far away from where I'm at in Florida. And we go into the Walmart, and there's nobody working the front. It's literally just a guy at the door, and there's a self-checkout. There's one guy that goes to help people that have problems with the self-checkout. So me personally, I don't use self-checkout. So what I went ahead and did was went to the back of the store and went to the electronics section. Because look, wherever I'm at is not paying me any money for doing self-checkout. They're not offering me no discount of labor for putting in these numbers, a job the cashier is clearly supposed to do. I'm not getting paid for that, so I'm not working for free because I ain't no goddamn slave. So I go to the back of the store where the electronics section is, and yes, they do have a cash register back there. A lot of people think you can only buy electronics in the electronics section. That is not true. Anything you buy in the store can be bought in the electronics section, all right? Nobody was back there. So I'm like, motherfucker. All right, boom. Let me roll over here to customer service. All right. One thing they're not going to be able to do is take humans out of customer service. So I took all my shit over to customer service, paid for it, and dipped. Like, I'm not going to use the self-checkout. Forget it, yo. I'm not doing it. You know what I mean? Even when I go to the damn airport, I'm going to the people up front and let them print up my boarding passes. Screw all that. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the gas station, if you go to the far right or far left, there's a cash register over there for a reason. Might not be nobody standing there, but if you go stand by that cash register, somebody will come over there. And a lot of times, you don't even got to wait in line. You don't even got to wait in line because you know what? The U.S. citizens don't even know about that. They just going to do whatever the fuck they told. They're going to go over there and press them buttons on that machine and do whatever they told and be told, see a cashier and hit the wrong button or even steal, act in dishonor and steal some shit. You know what I mean? We as nationals, we operate at a higher standard. So now we're not going to follow the lemmings. We're going to do what the fuck we over here to do. So I'm going to go to that cashier station and I'm going to say, yeah, I need to do it right here. and then pay for that joint and keep rocking out. You know what I mean? Screw all that extra stuff, man. These corporations literally are finding ways to save money. They're trying to fire people or lay people off, keep the same amount of business, but lay people off. And you keep using these damn machines, that gives them less incentive to have any humans working there. So if you stop going to the damn, enough of us stop going to that one place and they start doing bad, and why are we doing so bad? You write a letter saying, yo, y'all need to get rid of some of them goddamn self-checkouts. We want some actual people working in that bitch. You control the money. Y'all are the commerce. Y'all actually control the commerce. Y'all control that. We're stronger together than we are divided. They got to do what the fuck we tell them to do. That's what I'm telling y'all. All right, let's get back to it. The federal government is spending about $7.5 billion to expand the country's charging infrastructure, but even if it gets there, it's not clear how much an already fragile and vulnerable electric grid can handle. Uh-oh. You hear that? They already talking about electric grid being vulnerable to a short if they try to put too much shit on it. They planting the seeds, man. Y'all better have y'all shit together. Have your food, have your water, have your way to protect yourself, have your gold, have your silver, have all that shit protected on hand, because you just never know, you know what I mean, which way things are going to turn. Yeah, so yeah, make sure you got your affairs in order, man. 100%. All right. Adjusting to the auto industry's workforce. Now, that's another problem. You got a bunch of mechanics and stuff like that. Now, if you don't know about Tesla, Tesla actually has the ability to detect problems that are wrong with the car, and then the car will order the parts at the local dealership and then schedule you a maintenance service to take the car there and leave it. It'll set the appointment up and everything. All you gotta do is show up, drop the keys. You know, maybe you might have to fill something out. I've never done it myself, but I've read articles. The car sets everything up, orders all the parts and all that stuff. And when you go, the dealership does all the repairs. Mechanics and auto shops are not going to be able to do those repairs to those cars. As a matter of fact, a lot of those parts can't be delivered anywhere but the auto shops. But the dealerships. That's going to be another issue. Embracing an electric future and accelerating the mass adoption of electric vehicles will require automakers to adjust their workforce. Companies will need engineers with different sets of skills for this transition. They're not going to be designing new transmissions, but instead they need people with the skills to design electric motors and electric architectures. It's a whole nother thing. So now you got a bunch of people who spent years designing engines, designing transmissions, designing all of these parts that got us from point A to point B for so long and allowed us to travel out of work because they don't have the computer or technology to design architecture, which is basically what this is. Electrical architectures. Analysts expect to see companies lay off some workers while hiring in departments geared towards electric vehicles in the coming years. From ramping up production to revamping the workforce, the transition is unlikely to be a smooth process for buyers, drivers, and especially the auto industry. But the transitions rarely are. They're bumpy, and I think there are going to be some things that are unpredictable, says Krebs, so buckle up. Yep. So there we have it. So those are the pros and cons that the electric car industry is going to have to get around. Tell you what, man, that's gonna be crazy, bro. The economy is gonna be in trouble. You know, you got a bunch of people, you know, that can't get gas for their gasoline cars, can't afford another car. You see what I'm saying? It's not sustainable, bro. It's not sustainable. Learning about the trust and life insurance and shit, we should be taking advantage of that. Yes, and this is another reason I be telling y'all to get these books. You need to be fucking with it. Yes, the life insurance is 100% a good hustle. Well, not even a hustle, but a good investment rather. The trust, indeed, rock with the trust. Yes, indeed. Yeah, read them books. Hit the books. I be telling y'all, they gave you notice and you consented to things. Always. What part of Florida are you in? I'm not too far from Miami, actually. I'm like probably about 30 minutes away. Ninja Turtles fans. Yeah, yo. I'd rather build an electric car. I don't know, mate. I don't know, Civic Maker. Yo, like, listen, man, yo. I don't like the idea of somebody hacking your car, man, or turning your car off. You know, I don't like that shit, bro. Like, yo, my man's was down in not too far from where we at now. Yesterday, he got a damn parking ticket. I'm like, yo, you got a damn hybrid car too. Like, yo, they might if you don't pay that ticket, they might have your car come right to the police station till you pay it. Yo, F that, man. And them CV transmissions are another horrible invention. Them transmissions are garbage, man. CV transmissions, they have pretty much one gear and they go bad all the time. Electric car are really more polluting than gas cars because of the batteries. Exactly. They try to say it eliminates hydrocarbons. It is hard as hell to dispose of them electric batteries. It's crazy. About cars, does anyone do a 1099A or 1099C for a car, or is that a bad idea? Yeah, I don't rock with those, man. I couldn't tell you. What up, Zakiba? Good to have you here, man. Symbiotic stock sign SYM created the AI to automate warehouse selection. Bad idea, Albert. Word. They hacked Tiger's car and drove him off the road. Shit. Anything to keep him from Jack 18s. That's crazy. I didn't know that. What's up, by the way, David? Good to see you here, man. But yeah, that's a lot. That's a little bit too much for me, man. That's too much power, yo. Like, nah. Like I said, give me the old school gasoline engine, and if shit hits the fan, I'll figure out how to convert it to water like that dude did. I'll figure out how to convert the bitch to water. I don't care. Shit, I even heard you can use some kind of alcohol too. I'll figure it out. But I ain't going, man. I'm not with that, yo, because that's too much power, man. What the fuck you need that much power for? Hell no. Way too much. You get to a point where you can't do nothing. All right, I think we all caught up. Yeah, I think we caught up. Yes, sir. We all caught up. But yeah, man, I told y'all I'm not going to be running over this time. I'm not going to do 2 hours. This is pretty much going to be it for the night. Anybody got any questions? Because I'm going to go ahead and jump off. Make sure I ain't miss no comments. Oh, no doubt, man. Yeah, so look, I'm going to go and hop off, man. It's been great talking to you guys. Yo, if you can, please go ahead and slide a donation to the Cash App. It's right there at the bottom. Donate to the cause, man. Donate to the cause so I can do BOTG and get y'all some more good footage. Go ahead and leave a like, comment, and subscribe. The typical things any YouTuber would say in all the end of the videos. Share the video too, man. That'd be great. Definitely share the videos. And we stay hydrated, we stay focused, we stay learning. Take care of yourselves. Until next time, it's A6, the Foreign National Born Natural. Peace.